Hello, it's Jen. It's Friday, July 14th, and I'm here live with you. If you're there with me, let me know. If you're watching the replay, let me know. So I am going to do a card project from start to finish, and I've also got to do a draw. So what I do with my draws is when you comment on my videos, comment, like, or share, then you go in a draw for the card that I'm making. So I do the draw this week for what I made last week. So just while I'm waiting for a few people to get on here, and I'll pull up the cards here that I made last week, just as a way of quick introduction. By the way, I'm doing a draw for 3 cards this week because I made a whole pile of things last week, and I've got to do a redraw underneath as well. So in case you haven't met me before, my name is Jen. I live in Kingston, Ontario, Canada. I've been a demonstrator for 20 years, and I love showing people how to make greeting cards and use paper crafting supplies. So if that sounds like you, then welcome aboard. And if you need a catalog, just let me know, okay? Caroline is there from the UK. Hello, Caroline. It must be getting kind of late where you are. So can you hear me okay, Caroline? So let me jump over to the draw right away. And let me just share the screen. And here we go. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. I should have checked that sooner. Can you guys hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me now. I'm going to just wait a second, see if you can hear me before I go on. Let me know. Yes, Estelle says. Okay, well, so I have a completely different setup than what I normally do. And what I just did was I did a draw for 3 cards that I made last week, and then I had to do a redraw for this card because the person who won was an American and a demonstrator. And my rule is that you can only get in my draw if you are Canadian and not a demonstrator. So I did draw those names, and I will be sending those out. I won't replay that now. I am so sorry, guys. I should have waited for a minute to make sure I could hear. You guys could hear me. This is completely opposite microphone setup than I usually use, so it's bizarre to me that this is working. So as soon as you told me that I wasn't working, then so Carolyn says you're a bit fuzzy. Do you mean in the voice or in the picture? The picture could be your internet. The voice could be my internet. So let me know. Okay, so let's, without further ado, seeing as I've made you wait with nothing going on for a while, jump right over to crafting what I'm going to make today. Evelyn says everything's okay now. Okay, good. Okay, so here's a stamp set that I bought a little while ago, and I hadn't really used it yet, but I've been dying to use it because it's just fabulous. It's called Friendship Royalty, and it's got some fun crowns and wands and little swirls, and then, you know, things like thanks for fixing my crown. You're going to be fabulous, not perfect. And I'm going to show you what I did to this stamp to change it a little bit. And to the birthday queen and your friendship royalty. So I just thought it was a fun stamp set that you could use for a girlfriend or something like that, or if you have a little princess in your life or something. And then I'm going to be using these papers here. They are on the online exclusives, and I'll put a link to them because they're not in the catalog. See my poor bag? It was laying out and my cat has chewed the ends of it because my cat is crazy. But it's beautiful paper, and it is sort of like it's got Flirty Flamingo and Calypso Coral in it, some crushed curry, and it's just, the patterns are all beautiful. They're beautiful on the one side, and then they've got all these kind of embossed designs on the other side. There's also some greens here, pretty peacock, and I can't remember the other color. Hopefully you can see that you can cut out pieces of it. Hopefully my piece of paper is in here that tells me the colors, because it is so pretty. Soft sea foam. Look at those leaves. Just this paper is just gorgeous. So this is on the online exclusive. It is still available. These ones cut out really nicely too. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be using. And I'm going to actually cut up this one piece of paper that I need right in front of you, because I want to show you how I'm going to make this work. Actually, I think I should show you this part first. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of Flirty Flamingo cardstock, and Carolyn says these papers are so nice in real life. They really are. They're beautiful. They're one of those papers that I'm afraid to cut into sometimes because they're so pretty. So this is cut the long way, what I call hot dog. And I've scored it in half already. And so what I want to do is I want to take this and I want to cut it. I actually already did this part, so let me just show you this here. So I cut it so that there was only 1.5 inches, sorry, 1 3/4 inches left on this piece. See right here? And then I kept the other piece that would have come off here, and I cut this one down to 1 3/4, and then I just took the middle piece and saved it for another project. So that's 1 3/4 and 1 3/4. So that's how I got that. So the card is going to go like this, and I need things to go on these 2 panels. So I'm going to use that paper right here, because it's so pretty with the swirls and stuff in it, but I want to make it make sense, like the flowers are going to go from the bottom to the top. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut this paper at 4 1/4 to match the size of width of my card. And of course I will save that piece for something else. And then it's 1 3/4 that panel, so I need it to be 1 1/2 to make a nice mat. So there's 1 and there's 2. So I just wanted to show you that there was some rhyme and reason to the way I cut it. And let me just put those panels on right now so they don't go missing on me. Let me know if the picture's okay, you guys. I know Carolyn said something about it being fuzzy, so I want to make sure everything's okay. And that's going to go down there on the... Oh, of course I needed to cut that a little bit smaller, and I did not. I cut it at 4 and a quarter. It should have been at 4 because I want it to matte. Don't advise you doing that with glue on your paper, but you can see it's stuck to my finger, so I'll just cut this one down while I've got it here too. There we go. Okay, so sticking this panel on. And I'm going to stick this panel on. A little bit on the ends and a little bit around the middle. Okay, so that's the start of my card. Now I have a window sheet here. So the window sheets come in 12 by 12. So here's my package here. And they have these nice little tissue papers in between them to keep them all from getting marked up and sticking to each other. So I've already cut this down to be the size of my card. And I'm going to just make sure it is clean. I've got a little chamois here. Okay, because it will show fingerprints and stuff. Now, normally, I'm going to emboss. So normally when I emboss, I use an embossing buddy, but this is going to put white powder all over this. So I'm going to skip that this time and just hope for the best. I'm going to use my Versamark, which brings me to, if you're part of my newsletter, this is my product shop spotlight this month. And I have basically when you purchase a Versamark or a Versamark refill, so the refill looks like this, and it's just meant to squeeze out a little bit and refill your pad. Then I'm going to give you a project sheet with a project showing how to use this, which I'm showing you right now as well, but another project using the same idea of Versamark. Okay, so I'm making up the Versamark, and I've got the largest crown from that stamp set on there, and I'm going to stamp it in the middle. Now, acetate, it's sort of like acetate, it's a window sheet, is slippery, right? So I'm going to be very careful to go down and not try to squish around too much, or I'm going to get a bit of a blurred image, which I'm trying not to. So it's just sticking beautifully there to the acetate, and I can see it's a little bit higher than what I want, so it's not bad, but I'm going to grab another piece here, and I'm going to use that instead. Hold on, I'm just going to give this a polish too. Okay, so let me just try this again. You can't probably even see that stamping on there. No, I don't think the camera's going to pick that up, but I can see it's a little bit higher than what I want it to be. I want it to be more in the middle. Hold on a second. Because I can't see what I'm going to stand up here. I can't see. You know what I need to do? Is put this on a piece of paper so I can see it better. Now there's a hair there. Go away, hair. My black kitty hair. It's still there, but hopefully it's on the other side. Okay, so I want this to go down a little bit further than I had before. There, you guys can probably see that better too. Okay. Beautiful. That's much better. Okay, so I've got my little tray, my Stampin' Embossing Editions tray, and I've got my silver powder, and I'm going to sprinkle that right on top of there. I'll just sprinkle it on this one too so you can see what I meant by it's higher. So you can see it looks like a mess. So you can see that one's up a little bit higher. Then I'm going to use this one. So I'm just going to put this one aside. I see someone asking a question about the name of that paper, and I'll get you the name in just a second. I'm not sure if you meant this paper that I'm using now. These are called window sheets, and these are in the main catalog. Okay, so I'm just giving it a really good flick. And this little kit comes with, I apologize, I forgot to mute my phone, a brush. This isn't the brush, but any brush will do to just brush off that excess. Okay, and then I'm going to just move this out of the way. This tray is really nice because it's got a little funnel here, and I can funnel all that powder back in after. Okay, so I'm going to use my heat tool. The nice thing with Stampin' Up! Heat tools, there's two settings, a 2 and a 1. So because this is acetate and this actually could melt on us, I am going to use, this acetate has a little scratch on it, but oh well, we're going to go with it. I'm going to use the 1 setting. So the first thing I'm going to do is turn it on 2 just to heat up the gun for a few minutes. And you will not be able to hear me while I'm doing this, so hold on. Okay, now I'm going to turn it to 1 so it's a lower heat so I don't melt the acetate. But all I want to do is get the powder melted. It may not show up so well on here. I'm going to try and hold it up in a second. I don't know if you can see, maybe if I hold it up under something. Hold on. By the way, that paper is called Hello Irresistible, and it's in the online store. I'll put a link to it when we're done this live. I'm going to hold that up like that. I'm not sure how much the camera will pick up there. I think it does. So you can see the dark powder versus the shiny emboss, and that's what you're going for. Okay, so let me finish this off here. I'm going to go down to power 1 just so I don't melt the acetate. The embossing kit comes with, not on my design. Okay. I just wrecked my design. Oh my goodness. I'm having a day. Let me just sprinkle that on there again because I just stabbed it right. My finger was starting to get hot. I wanted to grab this with only one hand. That was a mistake. Okay, let's try this again. The gun is nice and hot now, so I'm going to take a chance and go to number 2. And I'm going to just do this really fast so it doesn't burn. Okay, so there we go. It is all embossed. It's going to be hard to pick it up in the camera, but you will see it when I'm all done here. It's very pretty. What I wanted with this card was to be able to really show off that crown. And anything I stamped, it just didn't show it up as nicely. Now there's lots of little bits and pieces all over this piece of acetate as opposed to the nice clean one I had before. But it will still be lovely. So I'm going to take a piece of this paper and I'm going to put the pretty side down. It's all pretty actually. And I need my little, because I goofed there, I've got a little rag here that I'm just going to get all that dust out of there. Okay, here we go. We're back on track. How's everybody doing? And now I picked up a tape that has no tape in it. Oh my goodness. See, listen, I've been doing this for 20 years, and if I can do it, anybody can do it. If I'm not a klutz, I'm a spaz. So, okay, so here we go. Going in the Flirty Flamingo. I'm going to check your other comments there in a second. So now I'm going to take a piece of tape and I'm going to run it all along here. And I'm going to put my crown right in here. You with me so far? Okay. Beautiful. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to put tape. Let me just think about this for a second. It's going to go on the inside, so I want it to go here. Make sure that is the part that's going down. And this is going to go here. And I want this part to line up. Oh, you guys, you're going to think me is so funny. You know, I went to the trouble of doing that paper, and that paper's upside down. You know, you just have some days. And I can see this acetate is just slightly crooked. But we're going to live with that, okay? This is a cool kind of card, though. I might just trim that acetate up later. Nice and smooth. And then you can see that on the inside. You can see here is where it is a little bit crooked. So I think what I'll do after is I'll trim that. So pretty, right? You can see that crown through the paper. And then when you open up the card, you have this. So let's do the inside here. And I've got my basic gray. Paulette says, I've never embossed on acetate. Yeah, it's kind of fun. And it really shows off that silver. So here we go. To the Birthday Queen is what's going here. And I'm putting on the top in basic gray. So it's going to be covered up by that panel there on the outside. And then this one, I wanted to show you this stamp as I turn my light off. You guys laughing at me yet? It says you were born to be fabulous, not perfect. Well, I didn't like that, not perfect. I thought you were born to be fabulous. So what I did was I took my stamp and I very carefully cut off that part. So I saved it. It's here, right here. There's the comma and the perfect part. So if I need them, I can do them, but I can't see myself using that. You are welcome to doctor your stamps up. That is something you can do. And you can see it does not affect the stamp. It says, but you were born to be fabulous. Or sorry, you were born to be fabulous. To the birthday queen, you were born to be fabulous. So we're going to add one more thing to this. I'm hoping you really can't notice those upside down flowers. Well, we're going to do something else to it, so that'll help as well. So let's start with the bling, and then we'll add another little something, something. Okay. Rita says, I noticed you reversed the paper, not your date today. Yeah, for sure, but still an awesome card. I'm going to give that a try. Some bling, Sonia says. Yes, we need the bling. Okay, so this bling here is called Adhesive Back Sequins Trio, and is peacock, berry burst, and white. But the white is kind of iridescent. So I thought that looked like a very perfect crown type thing. So I'm going to grab these ones, the large ones to start. And there's a nice little circle right there in the crown. So it's oh yeah, it's visible in the camera. Good. So there's a big one there, and then let's go to the medium ones here. For these other circles, because what is not a crown without some bling on it, right? We need the bling on our crown. I'm using the little spatula end here. Seems to be working. And then I want a smaller one here. So, well, these look like they're small too, right? I like these because the adhesive is already on them. And they're just adding a nice little white sparkle to the card. What's everyone up to this weekend? Anything fun going on? My demonstrators and I are doing a little crafting session tonight online. I'm just going to give these all a little poke down. Okay, and we're not quite done yet. We're going to bling it some more. I've got rhinestones, which of course you need rhinestones on a crown. So I'm going to take one of my large ones and I'm going to put it right in the center, right on top of those. And then we'll do some medium ones in the side here. So you can still see the sequins, but now they have a little focus in the middle and it's very blingy. Wait till I show it, till hold it up and show it. And then we'll get some really tiny ones here for the other two spots. A little bit fiddly, but worth it. Here you. Come on. Well, that just goes with how my day is going so far. Do you ever have one of those days when you're crafting? When everything just kind of goes wonky. But we can still create something beautiful in the end. Nobody needs to know that I might have said some bad words to myself while I was doing this, right? Okay, so one more. I need one more. And I am going to add one more thing to this. Can you go? Okay, but let me hold that up there so you can see. It's very blingy with the silver embossing and then the white sequins and then the rhinestones. Woo! Will the window sheet come away from the glue or does it stick like paper? That's a good question. It will stick. This will stick. But if it didn't, you could use the seal or you could use this Terran tape as well. That would work as well. But it seems to be sticking. And what's nice is when it stands up too, which you guys can't see, of course, but you can really see the crown through the front of the card. I think this needs a bit of a better score there. Okay, so one more thing I'm going to do to this. This is silver thread twine. It comes in a package of gold and silver. It's in the catalog. So it's just the paper here, this paper that I'm using that is not in the catalog. It is in the online exclusives only, and I'll put a link to it. So I love gold and silver, and of course with the silver embossing, this just ties it all together. So I'm tying a knot there, and then I'm going to tie a bow, and then I'm going to go back and read all the comments. I just caught Billa's there as it came through. Okay, I'm going to trim this off, and we're going to make this look prettier than that. I think it needs a little bit of training. Let me grab this Take a Pick tool that has an end on it and a glue dot. Crash, boom, bang. And I'm going to grab this end and grab a glue dot. And I'm going to tuck it right under there, under the knot. Get those extra pieces out. And I'm going to do one more. And I'm going to just go right under there. And then I get those little ends to come around and behave the way I want them to. Come here, you. It actually wasn't too bad up at the top, but I just wanted them to kind of dangle down a bit. You know, of course, this isn't going to work for me today because it's that kind of a day. I'll show you my other sample in a second. Okay. That will do. So there we go. There's the card all blinged up. To the birthday queen. You were born to be fabulous. So here's my sample with the ribbon behaving the way I wanted to. The only thing I didn't like about this one is that I did the greeting in Flirty Flamingo, which is this color, and I decided for this one that I needed it to be darker on top of the paper. So there you go. There's my card. Let me just see. Beth said, I don't think anyone would have noticed the flowers weren't positioned the way you wanted them. No worries. Yes, I'm hoping the ribbon kind of did that, but you can see on this card that they are better, right? But thank you. And Marilyn agrees, so thank you. Marilyn also says it looks pretty. Beth says it looks pretty, and Villa says she's going to try that and she loves it. And could you have touched double-sided adhesive to attach the acetate? Absolutely. This is actually double-sided, but you could use this tape right here is double-sided, but you could use this, which is a stronger double-sided, so that would have worked. Marg says great ideas, Jen. Would not have noticed the upside down flowers, so that's good. And yes, Sonia knew I wanted bling. Oh, Marilyn says you were born to be fabulous, not perfect. There we go. That's kind of perfect for today, isn't it? See, I shouldn't have cut that one off. That's too funny. Carolyn says nice. Sonia's waiting for that DSP to come in next week. Awesome. So just scrolling back here. So again, the paper is called Hello Irresistible, and it is in the online exclusives, so I'll show you that. And the picture is good. Okay, perfect. So I think I have all of your comments, and thank you for being with me and suffering through my pain. So I think maybe I was supposed to make a card later. I might have to just wait on that, seeing as my fingers seem to be spazzing a little bit today. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me. Remember to comment, like, and share, and then you'll be in the draw to win this fabulous card next week. So wishing you all a great weekend. Thanks for joining me today. Take care. Bye-bye.